Hey beautiful people, this is your girl Tanisha coming to you again with this simple holiday look. Bright, bold, beautiful lips, as well as a smoky eye, and I am totally feeling myself. So I'm ready for someone's Christmas party. And I can actually use this look on into the new year. So let's get into how I created it. Alright, so let's begin. How are you doing today? Just feeling my face after I've washed it and moisturized it, so let's get into the makeup. My brows are obviously already done, so I went on ahead and I primed both of my eyelids with NYX concealer in its lightest color. I also took that concealer up under both of my eyes. I primarily did that because I'm going to be putting on a darker eyeshadow, and it's just easier for me to remove any fallout when I have concealer up under my eye. So now I'm going to go in and warm up that crease just a little bit with a darker shade of brown. It's like a rust, and that's just the color I use typically as a transition color. It works best for me, so I go ahead and I pretty much use it with almost all of my looks. And once I've warmed up both of my creases, I go ahead and blend a little bit because you can never blend enough. That's just one thing about it. Blend, blend, blend till you can't blend anymore. I went on ahead and I took my Wet n Wild black eyeliner, gel eyeliner, and I actually placed it on my lid. And I did this just so I can make sure that the eyeshadow that I'm going to use shows up kind of intensely. By itself, it's not that intense of an eyeshadow. It's actually an old eyeshadow that I had before. I don't even know who makes it, but I do know that I really, really, really love the color. And speaking of the color, here is the color. It's like a shimmery gold, and here actually this is the color it is on top of the black eyeliner. So it gives off a goldish, greenish color. So I went ahead and I placed that on my lids, on both of my lids, just packing it on. And I really like this color. It has really good payoff if in fact you put it on top of the black liner. So I put it on both of my eyes. I put it around the mobile lid part and just spread it throughout and blended it in the front as well as in the back of the lid, and placed a little bit more on my right eye. I went in later and added a little bit of another darker color on the corners. This was like a smoky gray, almost a black, but it wasn't quite intense as a black, but it was very, very dark. So it was more like a smoky gray, and that's what I put on the outer V of my eye. And then of course I just blended it going towards the inner part of my crease. And I love doing this because it elongates the eye. It makes the eye look more cat and gives you a little bit of more sexy feel. You see that? How it elongates your eye? So that's why I like to put a darker color in my crease, just to deepen it up. I mean in the V part, just to deepen it up, make it look a little bit more sexy. You can never be too sexy. But anyway, moving on, I also went on ahead and packed on a little bit more of the first eyeshadow I used, just so, you know, I can make sure that it was intense enough. I went on ahead and lined my eyes. This time I only did the top line, no wing liner, just a basic line. I didn't do any liner on the bottom either. As I stated, this is just a simple holiday look. I'm not going full-fledged glam. I'm not even going to wear lashes, y'all. I know. Can you believe it? No lashes. So anyway, I'm putting on my foundation, and I'm using the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat foundation, and I'm going to blend that in. And this is in the color Nutmeg, and this is my color actually. And I'm going to go ahead and blend that in. I'm using my foundation brush all over my face and down my chin. You can never make sure you go down your chin when you're putting on foundation, because you don't want that line of demarcation where it looks like a person just has on a mask. You want to make sure that your foundation is blended on down into your chin and even on down into your neck, and blended all the way around your face, around the perimeter of your face. So that's what I'm doing. And here I went back with another, like a little kabuki brush kind of thing to buff it in. here I'm just fixing some things. You could, you gotta sometimes go back and check your work. So here I'm using Cool Tan Concealer by LA Girl. And I'm using it up under my eyes, I'm doing a bridge of my nose, on my chin, on my cupid's bow, and also in the top of my forehead. And I'm using a small mini stipple brush to go ahead and blend those areas in. I really like this concealer. This concealer really, really works for me. This has been like one of the best concealers I've ever used. And I know that's just like, and I've been in makeup for about 10 years, but this has been one of the best concealers that I've ever used. I love the consistency. I love the way that it spreads. I love the way that it basically does what I need it to do. It doesn't dry out too fast. I don't have to rush in order to blend it in, but it does what I need it to do. And it's creamy enough. It doesn't crease. Especially if you go back in and you set it with the powder, you'll be good to go. Here I'm using my powder brush, putting on a little bit of my powder foundation by NYX, also in the same color, and just blending out those lines that were created when I put my concealer on. Here under my eye, I'm using a lighter powder to set the concealer and to just basically brighten up those lighter areas. Here I have like a orange berry blush. This is actually one of my favorite blushes. As you can see, it makes those cheekbones just sit. Yes, I love it. And then moving on, I take a little bit of Ben Nye banana powder and a small blender brush and just put a little bit up under my eye just for a little bit more heightened highlight. I love Ben Nye. Ben Nye is good. A lot of people are starting to use other brands like Sasha, and but I like Ben Nye, so I'm gonna stick with Ben Nye. Moving on to the lips, I just go ahead and line the lips with a red liner. I don't even know who it's by. It's maybe some generic brand I got from the beauty supply place. And make sure you line those lips really, really well, especially if you're wearing red lipstick, because red has a tendency to bleed. And I just went on ahead and took my lip pencil brush and blended out that lip line. And now I'm just going ahead and applying my lipstick. And this is just a burgundy red. I don't know the name. Again, this is just a cheap holiday simple look. A gold and smoky gray eye with a red bold lip. This will get you through any holiday season looking good. So I was feeling real good too, because it was coming out really, really well. So yes, I had to take a sneak peek at myself. Make sure those lips are lined and have the lipstick applied to perfection. And sometimes you got to go back in with your lip liner and make sure that that lip line is perfect. So that's all I'm doing right here. And then I take my little kabuki brush and I just blend everything together just so everything looks well. And I forgot, I need to go ahead and highlight up under my brows. So I took like a shimmer gold and highlighted under the brows, and as you can see, that gave it that extra pop that it needed. I went on ahead and took down my hair. And if you want to know how I created this hairstyle, I do have a video in my playlist creating this U-part wig. But I went on ahead and combed it out, got my little brush, brushed my little baby hairs down, my little side edges down, make sure it looks perfected. And it looks really, really good. So what you think? I'm ready to party. Somebody's Christmas party. Here I come. Yes. So again, this has been me. And here I am just acting a little silly because that's what I do. But this has been your girl Tanisha giving you a big old hug from afar. And until next time, bye.